One of the most absolutely anticipated cards in Marvel Snap history has arrived, and that is Arishem. We are live on Twitch TV here recording in front of an absolutely wonderful audience, but you guys on YouTube there, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Alex, you gotta talk to me about Arishem. Now, this is a unique situation. The reason why it's unique is because, as I said on the Snapchat with Cozy, this is one of the cards where right now the win rate just does not matter. You need to get into the game and just enjoy one of these absolute archetype-defining, game-defining, genre-defining cards that completely changes the way you play Marvel Snap. That's been my experience so far with Arishem. Have I gained rank? Yes. We've actually been ranking up pretty consistently, which is great. The decks are actually performing far better than expected. There's been a couple major winners with Arishem. The extra energy honestly makes you be able to play on curve pretty confidently. And there's some cards that really stand out. There's some archetypes that really stand out. And so I can't wait to talk to you about some of the decks. But before we do that, right off the top, is Arishem worth getting? I'm leaning towards absolutely a resounding yes. This card completely changes the way you play the game. The mirror matches are a ton of fun right now. It is hyper susceptible to Darkhawk, I will add, but generally speaking, it's really fun to play. Now, whether or not it's going to be super competitive, honestly, no, like I usually say, wait at least until the weekend before you make up your decision as to whether or not you're going to get Arishem. I think you can just get it if you have or have saved up the tokens or the keys for it. Definitely just grab it. But what I will say is I think this is going to be a couple weeks before the most refined version of this deck even comes out. And even what is a refined version of Arishem has that like instability, that randomness that you really can't depend on a specific type of deck performing in a specific type of way. You can only kind of make a deck that's in best practice one that will achieve victory. So I really like how this card is designed. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's competitive in a way that I was not necessarily expecting, but I definitely do think it's worth getting. My first impressions of the card are very positive. I've had a ton of fun playing it, and the games have been absolutely wild. I've even played Cozy. I'm going to have some highlights from my game against Cozy here, and they were awesome games. So let's talk about a couple decks and kind of like my thought process behind the decks themselves, okay? So what we've got here is we have the sideboard deck. Now, I talked about this on the Snapchat. The concept of using a number of different tech cards in order to kind of provide the Arishem deck with the opportunity to answer the questions that it's asked by the opponent. Essentially, the attack strategy is to use the cards randomly generated by the Arishem to the greatest effectiveness as possible, while also answering your opponent with a number of tech cards. Now, a couple cards here worth noting that I've not included. Quinjet. In my testing, I have not included Quinjet as often, but I have found that the Quinjet effect is actually super helpful, especially if you're going to be running Moon Girl. So in this deck, I would actually consider taking someone out and adding the Quinjet. In fact, I would consider maybe doing it right now. I would lean towards probably getting rid of Cosmo and then adding Quinjet. Look at this, we're doing this on the fly here. Where's the Quinjet? There's the Quinjet. This deck is probably going to be pretty solid overall. One card that's missing here is Rogue. You can steal the Quinjet effect from other Arishem mirror matches. There's a couple cards that actually might surprise you here. Kang, you don't have to run Kang if you don't want to, but what I will say is we had a couple circumstances where Kang was actually fun to play. Because of your extra energy, on turn 4, 5, and 6, if you draw into Kang, you're able to get a free Kang snap, see your opponent's play. Most importantly, replace Kang with an additional draw. That can be very valuable in these types of decks. Moon Girl is actually pretty good too, because that extra energy put us in this top deck mode very often. So Moon Girl let us play a card, fill up our hand, and then play more cards down with that extra energy. And if you have Quinjet, it's just pure gravy at that point. So this was my sideboard style deck. And again, you can make some adjustments for the tech as you see wish. Enchantress, for instance, very necessary against the Darkhawks. Super Scroll, necessary against the Darkhawks. Ultimately, I felt like I had a lot of answers and I solved a lot of problems with this particular deck, okay? And then we go into the Loki and RNG. This was another major type of archetype that we discussed that I felt was going to be a solid competitor in the kind of the landscape of Arishem. And there were a couple really solid performers here. First of all, Loki has proven to be a very good counterpoint. Shang-Chi everywhere to counter the Blob. Blob has been awesome. Absolutely awesome. And one thing worth noting here is these decks I'm showing you, they tried to fixate on very specific elements of Arishem's deck design. I do think that the best decks are going to incorporate a couple different cards from all of these. For instance, Blob's a definite winner. Loki's a definite winner. The Super Scroll to some extent is a winner as well. There's a lot. Oh, Sersi's a great card too, because that those random cards you're generating, you're able to flip them into something. You're able to do that kind of RNG roll to see if you can create something, something from nothing. That's what Sersi kind of excels at. But overall, this deck performed pretty good. We ran Quinjet in this one, and it was successful. And then I had this pure value idea. Okay, what if we just try to outvalue our opponent? Now, this one ended up being on the greedier side. What ultimately ended up happening is that if we weren't able to generate inexpensive cards with the Arishem, we ultimately found ourselves unable to play the first 2 turns of the game, possibly even the first 3 turns of the game. The idea was, okay, if we wave, we can sneak something out big, so we want big cards there. We're hoping that we draw into inexpensive Arishem cards, and Loki gives us the opportunity to kind of create an inexpensive play pattern where we can obviously win the game. Sarah lets us kind of dump some cards down. But ultimately, this was not successful because we could not rely on Arishem giving us inexpensive cards. There were a few games where I would draw into like, oh, that's a random Heimdall from Arishem. This is another, so it was really hard to kind of predict what Arishem was going to do. So these types of decks were non-successful because ultimately you need to put at least a couple opportunities for you to curve yourself out effectively, right? Because if you're going to fully rely on Arishem, it's not going to work. And that was a lesson in this deck. Wave was pretty good if you got it on turn 2, but other than that, it kind of got a little awkward. But again, in this particular deck, the real winners were Blob and Darkhawk. Because Darkhawk, if you're playing against an Arishem player, Darkhawk is absolutely massive. And that's why if you're playing Arishem, you have to have Blob to at least like kind of relieve some of the pressure that you're facing against the Darkhawks. But unfortunately, even if you play Blob, the Darkhawk is more than likely going to outpower you. So that was a good lesson in the way Arishem's playing. Now, this was a brew we didn't have a chance to test too much, but I just wanted to throw it out there. The idea was, okay, what if we have something like a Mobius, which is an ongoing card which maintains its power throughout the game state? If you Helicarrier, you can therefore use that extra energy that you get from Arishem to basically play down more random cards. That was kind of the thought process behind this, and if you want to experiment with a Destroy Helicarrier gen deck, it's cool. But unfortunately, you have a bunch of discard cards and you've stuffed your deck with random stuff, it's hard to be predictable with something like an Arishem Heli Carrier deck. Now, this is one of the ones I played with Coccia. I actually thought it was pretty cool. The idea of playing Professor X on turn 4 is pretty remarkable. The idea of playing Storm into a Legion is pretty cool too. Legion actually was a huge winner here. A lot of people weren't really expecting Legion to be coming down on turn 4, for instance, or on turn 5 or whatever have you, right? Legion was a very effective card in Arishem because it gave you that extra optionality a turn early to destroy or disrupt your opponent. I did like the goblins in this deck because, again, you're sneaking them out early. We even had some really fun Galactus experiences while playing this particular deck. Sunspot does a good job of if like you're in top deck mode and you're utilizing that extra energy to good effectiveness, and ultimately everything else is just good stuff like Jeff, White Widow, and Nebula. Ultimately, Nebula and Captain Marvel and the others, they all work together with the Storm and Legion combination and in conjunction with Professor X, because remember, Professor X allows for someone like a Miss Marvel, or Captain Marvel, I should say, to fly into the location. I really like this deck. I think there's going to be something really good here. I might be a couple cards off, but I think we're onto something. And then, naturally, with extra energy comes the idea of whether or not you can play something like a High Evo. High Evo seemed okay, and I don't know if it's going to be the preferred way to play Arishem, but this was the brew I was going with here. Again, that extra energy goes a long way. Blob gets absolutely massive. Red Hulk's awesome. Kyera is going to be absolutely required in this style of deck. Misty Knight, Sunspot make good use of the additional energy, and Magic helps extend the game, which gives you a absolutely insane 8 energy turn 7, which is pretty wild, right? So this deck does feel pretty good, but is it going to be the top way to play Arishem? I don't necessarily think so. I think that ultimately the way Arishem is going to be played is with a collection of tech cards that really makes sense for the way the deck is going to curve out, okay? I don't expect you to be like, hey, Alex, I found the perfect Arishem deck already. Look at this 99% win rate deck. I don't think that's the point. I think the way you need to consider approaching your purchase of Arishem today is, do you have the currency? Do you have the keys? Do you have the tokens? Decide whether or not you want this play experience. Because right now, I think the meta is going to be really fun for at least this next week while people play Arishem. The mirror matches are actually a lot of fun as well because you can't anticipate what your opponent has. If you're looking to win games and rank up, you're probably, regardless of what you're playing, you just might throw in a random Darkhawk, even without Korgan Rockslide, just because Arishem is going to be like 90% of your games. But is Arishem good? I think it's good. I think it's a great card for the game. Whether or not it proves to be legitimately competitive is a whole other conversation. However, This is a phenomenal card that is phenomenally fun to play. It's the kind of card that I feel will bring people back to Marvel Snap, that generates excitement. I myself was more excited today to play Marvel Snap than I have ever been in recent memory. This is why we play the game, for these moments that are exciting. These moments can be fleeting because the meta changes, the cards get, we get used to the cards, you get a little jaded or whatever. Those are fleeting moments, and right now you want to capture this moment and have an absolute blast. So anyways, guys, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hit that like button and all that stuff while you're down there. But most importantly, we have a bunch of gameplay highlights that really do a lot to illustrate how awesome Arishem is. All right, we're cooking for Loki.
I am Ego, and this is my domain.
Gotta snap. Them's the rules. Them's the rules. Here we go. It's just hazmats. Oh my gosh. Mindscape, no way. We have some unironic Mindscape gameplay. Does Ego kill himself with Nocturne? Nocturne's all over the place. What's Ego gonna do? Oh, my Ego decided not to take himself out. Mindscape's gone.
Breaking news.
Agent Coulson comes down. I have his Nicholas Fury. Oh no. Okay. We got some Vision gameplay. Vision's gonna make 3 moves. Pro X! Wait, that's Nocturne. Superflow. Please play my Pro X as well. Oh! This is so ridiculous. Come on. Do something positive, Ego, please. Okay. We're cooking. No, order. The order's right. Ego's cooking. No, the Green Goblin. Valkyrie's gonna reset the Goblin. Oh no. I lose. No, Ego! No! Oh, the heartbreak! Oh no! It was too much.
Yo, that was the most drunk game of Marvel Snap I've ever played.
Oh, right. No, Sokovia, you suck so bad. Unbelievable discard, man. Discards are shongers, man. You need shongers. So this is the very low percentage. Oh, I just drew into my Arishem. Very nice. I get double skill obsidians. Okay. Now this is where people were saying Rogue would have been valuable. Oh, this person's not playing Arishem. Is this the first non-mirror match we've had? I think it is. Do I always Wong here? Ain't nothing Wong. Ain't nothing Wong with Wong. Surprise Galactus? No, they always... Do I Galactus mid? No, they're playing mid. They crystal. Bro. I was not expecting crystal gameplay. You know what? No, I'm cutting this. I'm shutting this down. No scaling for you. Additional Quinjets? Why?
Oh, snap.
Heroes never die. It might be an Arishem deck, but it doesn't mean that they won't kneel. Kneel! Let's go!
Galactus.
Soul-crushing defeat at the hands of Galactus. Unbelievable gameplay. Unbelievable gameplay. This is the highest power play we can make. Well, yeah, Cloak was an extra one. We do get the win. We do get the win. That was beautiful. Do they play here?
What a game!
We're gonna Galactus Superflow for sure. Damn. We can't run the risk of animes messing us up. The evolved cards were random? Oh my god, G-Man just got discarded from Moon Knight. That is the most Arishem thing to have ever happened. That right there, that is Arishem in a nutshell. I want you to fully appreciate what happened there. We had Galactus from Arishem. We got an Arishem Jubilee. We played Arishem Jubilee. We pulled a Moon Knight from Arishem, discarded Galactus. That is like so deep into the RNG. I don't even know what to say. Like, that is so sad. We're playing our first ever Arishem game. We have Shang-Chi with Monster Island. Lady Deathstrike being top deck. Now, this is the sideboard deck. The one where we just have a bunch of tech options and stuff and see what happens. We got multiple Lady Deathstrikes. And a Mobius and Mobius. Okay. We can Miss Marvel. Now, Mobius and Mobius is interesting because I'm not really discounting anything. Meek. That was like a random Meek I see. Destroy Mobius? Makes sense. I mean, I don't really need to destroy Mobius, but I might. Okay, that's that Blink I was talking about on the Snapchat. Blink being a high value card there. Oh, we're coping hard with Kang. But check this out. Listen, we just snapped into top deck Kang and he replaces himself with a new card. So they're Lokiing their hand, only 3 cards. Havoc, I respect it. And we are going to Kang right there. Now, Kang is going to allow us to now replace him with a drawn card. That's why Kang is so interesting in here. Okay? Now we're going to draw a different card, and we're kind of getting a little further into that deck. It is only an American Chavez, so nothing fancy, nothing special. 5 cards. We need to start activating the Miss Marvel here. I think we're going to play Arrow here.
What are your
we're
thoughts
gonna play...
on Arishem Spotlight and Og Spotlight variants in general?
Hey, I'm just happy that I get to play Marvel Snap with a brand new card that's changing everything up. I'm excited for that.
Kong.
Come here, Havoc. You clown. We're in a tricky spot here. Very tricky spot. Arishem top deck. Interesting. 7 energy. 7 energy right there. I almost want to Shongers, and then do this. Oh, we can't play that here. Okay, so what we're gonna do. Right's bait. Shang-Chi here. Shadow King middle. So yeah, they got my Shongers. Or was that theirs? Did they top deck that? No.
You are mine.
Venom? It's not enough. Our first game with Arishem results in a victory.
Victory.
Wow. That was fun. And you know what? The mirror matches are going to be fun too. Okay, here it is. Turn 2 cable. That's a turn 1 cable, actually. We got their Loki. Nice. They're playing Arishem, I see. Okay. I'm gonna Nick Fury here and see what we get. What's the worst that can happen? Let's Nicholas Fury. And then maybe I Loki. I would like to draw my Loki. My Loki border.
Squad's still a little light.
Okay. That's sad. But I guess we draw a card. Draw my Loki? No. Okay. Oh, Quinjet. Oh my god. How is this possible? How can things be so sensual? Oh, imagine playing Quinjet on Onslaught Citadel. Alex, the alcohol consumption has been too great. Wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey, Alex. Too excited, man. I'm too excited today. Should I Loki again just to show them who's boss or what? I can Quinjet again? This is so dumb. Oh my god. Are they gonna be free? Wait. Watch. Oh, they're gonna be... I'm doing this. This is so hilarious. Look at these Quinjets. Look at the Quinjet value I'm getting. So many Sersis. Okay, hold on. Sersi, Blob, Red Guardian, Loki. What's the worst that can happen? We lose? We never lose this game. Dagger, Doctor Strange. That's sad. Okay, straightforward dub there. It looks like we got him. And it is, as one might expect, Darkhawk gameplay. Alright, that's another good win.
Victory.
Is this an Arishem Darkhawk? It is an Arishem Darkhawk. Lost Diablo's base might troll us. There's the Pixel Coulson. You'd love to see it. Look at that. Look at that. We just drew Adam Warlock, baby. I promised Cozy I'd play Adam Warlock. I did. Well, right. Watch this. You guys want to see some card draw, gamers? Look at this. Oh. You know what that is? It's pure value. It's pure value. You guys see that? Oh my gosh, Cozy's in the chat. We Red Hulk mid. Cozy's here. Man, they played Dawkins. Sad. It's 5 energy. Okay. This is looking pretty sensual. Unironic Punisher into Mockingbird Blade. Send it. Snap. Easy game. Easy game. Pure value Arishem Punisher gameplay. They're going hard Atlantis. Okay, Ghost Spider brings Domino over into the Enchantress game. No. Oh, Howard! Howard's enough to actually topple us there. Into the Shard, into the Arishem. By one, we win mid. Literally Punisher difference.
Victory.
Very common Punisher W here. You absolutely love to see it. Arishem knew what we needed to achieve victory. We have Uatu in the deck that Arishem generated, not even in our deck. What? At the start of the game? No way, because Uatu didn't start in our deck. Oh. Here, let's bait them over here. You want to see how savage I am? Hope I'm sending a message to what I think about Uatu the Watcher.
Arishem brought me back. GL on the game. Love from Ontario.
Scott, thank you so much. Much love to you as well. Thank you. Oh, we got some Bar Sinister gameplay now. What do I put in Bar Sinister? I'm not even sure. It hurts to skip this turn. We could have Wolfsbaned. Oh, no. We skipped so I could think. We can try this? I don't know. I knew that was coming. So they're playing a Darkhawk deck. Did they lose though? They lose that lane, which is actually kind of funny. Very well done. You played that great. Shanchio. Oh my god, no Shongers?
Enchantress.
Behold my mighty hand.
+2? No? Okay. Oh, perfect. Should I snap on them?
Snap.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna snap. You tried to get fancy with your anti-Arishem gameplay, and now you get punished. They can't retreat. They can't retreat because of Mount Vesuvius. Now what? Lady Deathstrike's coming down, wiping out your Widow, wiping out the Widow's Bite. You've lost left the humanity. That's what you get. That's what you get for trying to play spoiler. I think we're okay playing Snowguard here. Damn, got some Medusa gameplay. I like these Arishem matches because everyone's just drawing random stuff, you know? I think that's funny. The mirror matches aren't as stressful. Where the hell did this come from? Oh, they just top deck double Medusa. Okay. I see. I see. Well, I guess I'll do this maybe. Yes. Get wrecked. Do I go for this like this? Did he play Quinjet on top of Mobius? Is that what happened? Ah, I see. Angry. Goes for the Mobius play. Right, I still got Super Scroll out there. And I'm now gonna draw one card. Yeah, I drew a card. Yay. Do you want Hawks and Bears? Okay, for the memes, I'm gonna put Bears and Hawks everywhere. I don't even care. Watch this. There are gonna be so many Bears and Hawks, guys. This is what's happening. And you guys can't stop me. Look at all these bears roaring. All right. Okay. Wait. This, and win? Maybe? Possibly? Send it? Arishem isn't even that much additional power left. It is extra power, but it's really not that much. Do I take out Arishem and just add the bears? You know what? I'm gonna do bears just because the bears. We're doing bears. I want more Snowguard bears. If we lose by 3 left, then I'm kind of sad, but we're doing some bear gameplay. This is the North Pole deck. It's exactly what it is. Ah, okay, fine.
Enchantress.
Enchantressing the Super Scroll? Why? Because Iron Man?
I am Iron Man.
Well, I guess you just lose then. That's fine. Would you believe it? Oh, and Baku! Oh my god, we could have lost! We could have lost with M'Baku mid. No way! My heart. When I heard that sound, I almost had an actual heart attack.